Hello everyone, welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Meg, and today I'm going to be showing you guys everything that I'm planting in March here in North Carolina, Zone 8A. I'm going to be doing a huge spring planting, so we're going to be direct sowing root crops. I've got to plant my potatoes. I'm going to show you guys some of the summer seedlings that I already started. That's in another video. If you want to see me plant those, go and watch that. Today I'm mainly just focusing on direct sowing some root crops, some leafy greens. I have decided to go ahead and skip brassicas this year. So the brassicas are like cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. I'm skipping those this spring because here in North Carolina, I never have a really great time growing those in the spring. It just goes from like spring to summer real quick here, and it seems like the spring crops really struggle and they just bolt anyway. Like I plant them out and they never really produce in the spring. They just bolt, and then all of a sudden spring is over, summer's here, and you're just focusing on all the summer crops. So I'm just like skipping the brassicas altogether. They're just too finicky. I have much more luck with those in the fall because I'm planting them when it's already hot, so then they have time to like grow and establish, but then it's cooling off by the time that they're maturing, and so they don't really have as much of a likelihood to bolt on me, and I get like a really nice crop from them. I'm more excited for the summer stuff anyway. It's mid-March here in North Carolina, and honestly it's warming up pretty quickly. I don't know if we'll have another frost. Technically, our last frost date isn't usually until mid-April, end of April. A lot of the old timers will tell you not to plant anything out, like summer crop wise, until after Mother's Day in May. I cannot wait that long. I will plant them out as early as I possibly can. I'm honestly like kind of tempted to just go ahead and start because I don't think that we're gonna have another frost, but I say that and then North Carolina weather is probably gonna be like psych, and we're gonna get like some crazy frost. Anyway, I'm gonna spend a few hours out here just doing some chaos gardening, mainly the crops that I direct sow: carrots, beets, lettuce, spinach, like all that stuff. It's just gonna be chaos gardened. I'm just gonna be throwing it out everywhere and kind of like, okay, that's it. What I'm most excited to plant are the potatoes, and I have to show you guys something like so ridiculous, so ridiculous. In this little box are potatoes that I left from last spring, and I was like, these are gonna sprout over the winter and I'll replant them. And they did sprout. They sprouted so much. This is crazy. I don't even know if I can like plant these. That one actually looks pretty good, but some of these are like, yeah, they're ready for some dirt for sure. And then I have this bag of potatoes that I bought from the store, and before I could eat them, they immediately started sprouting, and they're organic yellow potatoes, so I think I'm just gonna plant them. And then I have a box of seed potatoes that I bought from my local garden center. So I have quite a lot of potatoes to plant today, and these are just barely starting to sprout, but I think that they're good enough to plant. So yeah, let's get started. So first things first, I'm gonna clean out my salad box. If you didn't know, this is my salad box. This is a above ground planter that I bought from Costco 4 years ago. I've had this thing for 4 years. It's held up so well. I saw this at Costco the other day, so they are selling it. However, I didn't see it with the cover. I just saw the cedar planter, but I use this for my salad box because it sits above the ground. So it's hard for slugs and stuff to get on your lettuce. When I plant lettuce in my other raised beds, they're gross. Like slugs get on them. It's slimy lettuce. It's just nasty. But this is my salad box. I'm just gonna clean everything out. I'm gonna top it up with some more compost. Just reset the whole thing. The chickens are gonna get these scraps, and then I'm gonna sow some seeds. These are just like little greens that kind of overwintered in here. This is some spinach. Like I should eat this, but I think I'm gonna give it to the chickens because sometimes you just want like a reset and a do-over, you know? Here you go, ladies. They love when they get garden greens. Just gonna get this old plant matter out. What I'm using is this land and sea compost from Espoma. I really like this. It has lobster and crab meal in it, and it's just really good. Oh, that's beautiful. I just love a clean slate. I've got these 2 packets of seeds that I'm going to sprinkle in here. We've got this farmer's market blend. I like doing just a blend of lettuces. And then this chef's medley. There's a bunch of different kind of stuff in here. Grab some seeds. I'm just gonna sprinkle. You can also, to get like more even distribution than what I'm doing, you can put these in a, like an herb shaker or a salt shaker or something. And that'll kind of distribute them a little more evenly, but I don't really care. I love chaos sowing lettuce because it doesn't really matter quite as much to go and thin lettuce out. Lettuce can be planted really densely. I mean, it's just, especially leafy lettuce. Now, if you're growing a heading lettuce like romaine or something that you want to grow into a large head, you would want to thin those. But these leafy greens, I never thin them. I just let them come up and grow as they may, and it's just like a whole box full of lettuce that I can come and I can just chop it all down at the base and then it'll regrow, and it's just super easy. I think that's enough sprinkling, probably a little too much. Kind of lightly do this, get some seed to soil contact. These are really small seeds, so I don't want to cover them up too much. And now I'm gonna go grab my hose and give them a watering, and they're all done. Okay, we've got the lettuce done. Now I'm gonna plant some carrots. This is my favorite variety of carrot. This is Sheen Carota. I feel like this is a great carrot, especially if you're growing in ground here in North Carolina clay soil. I've grown these in my little kind of in-ground area and it pushed right through the soil. It was great. A lot of people even use these to like break up the soil for future plantings. I just think this is an overall great carrot. I will never grow any other carrot really. I think this is like the one. You know when you find the one, you find the variety that's perfect for you? This is the one for me. It's also a really sweet carrot and it is heat resistant. So like I was saying earlier with the brassicas, they just tend to bolt. These do really well in the heat. And so even me planting them now, if I want to leave them in until like midsummer, they can take the heat, which is really great for somewhere like North Carolina. You guys should already know my favorite way to plant carrots. Chaos sowing. I usually plant them in this bed or here in the front. I think I'm gonna go with that circle bed back there. This bed would be perfect for a little carrot radish combo. I brought my seed notebooks out here because I need to pick out some radishes to go with the carrots. It's like one of my favorite planting combos. So I'm gonna go with a quick growing radish. Like these are all quick growing radishes. I think I want to try this hybrid from Burpee. I don't think that I've tried it. It says a fast grower that doesn't sacrifice flavor, one of the earliest and easiest radishes. Plant every 14 days for a continuous supply of glossy 1-inch scarlet globes. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with these. So the reason that these two are a perfect match to plant together is because it makes thinning out your carrots a little bit easier, especially if you chaos sow them. So carrots, they can take up to 2 weeks to even germinate. So if you sow your carrots and you don't see them popping up right away, you gotta just give them a little bit of time. They like to take their time. It can take 2 to even 3 weeks sometimes to even germinate. So the radishes, as we see on the seed packet, this says harvest in about 20 days from seed to harvest. So they're very quick growing. So if you plant these together, you mix the seeds together, you're sprinkling them together. Radishes, they're gonna grow and able to be harvested sometimes before the carrots even germinate, and they can actually like aerate the soil. Like when you're harvesting your radishes and the carrots are just starting to grow, obviously you have to be very careful, but they can aerate the soil for the carrots, and they can loosen up the soil for the carrots so that your carrots can grow straight, nice and straight like a carrot should. So they're just like a really good companion pairing. What I like to do is just mix them up in my hand and just sprinkle them just like I did with the lettuce seeds. Now I will go back and thin these if I need to, just to give them some room to grow. This would actually be great if you use an herb shaker. Just put the both of them in an herb shaker. I just don't have one, and I am just, you know, I'm like quick, like put it in my hand and sprinkle it. Try to get like an even amount. I just love gardening so much. Like, it's so fun, especially chaos gardening. Like, you just sprinkle seeds everywhere like a little fairy. Oh, and it's such a nice day. I'm just having so much fun. I thought you guys should know that. I'm gonna take these and just sprinkle them. Try to give them plenty of room, but still plant them pretty densely. And I'm gonna water them in. I found another pack of carrots, and I'm about to just like black out and go rogue and just start sprinkling them everywhere. Like, I don't know, maybe some will pop up there. I think I'm also gonna, I know I just sprinkled some carrot seeds, but I think I'm also gonna sprinkle beet seeds right here. Up here is attached to the trellis, so there's a little line of squash that's gonna go there, but then I want like a little line of beets. I'm gonna go with this Early Wonder. These only take about 48 days. We love a quick growing variety. These also have like the tastiest greens if you like beet greens, which I never knew that I liked beet greens until I tried them. They're really delicious, and I love beets. I'm a pickled beet girly. Like, I'm the kind of girl that will just sit and eat like a bowl of pickled beets sprinkled with some salt. Oh my God, it's so good. So beet seeds are really interesting because each of these little seeds actually contains multiple seeds. So these are even more important to thin out, and I'm not going to go quite as heavy on the sprinkling. I know I have a lot of seeds in here, but I'm going to try to really spread them out. I think it's called a multi-germ seed. So I'm going to try to go like a little bit lighter on these, but just like the whole bed. By the way, I am going to be mulching these beds. I know they're kind of just like bare soil right now. I like to use clean straw, that brand of wheat straw, and it just hasn't come in the mail yet. So I will be mulching it soon. I'm trying to think if I want to start any more root crops. I got carrots, I got radishes, I got beets. I could do turnips, but I actually have a lot of turnips that are planted that overwintered that I need to harvest. And I like turnips, but they're not like a spring favorite for me. I don't know, they're more like a fall, winter favorite for me. I did lettuce. Maybe I'll do more carrots. I love carrots so much. I just love to like go crazy with the carrots. Another thing that I need to plant are onions, but I need to go to my local garden center and get some onion starts. I don't want to start from seed. I don't want to start from sets. I want to get like the little plugs. So I just haven't gotten those yet, but those are something that I would plant this month as well. I just got to go and grab them, and then I'll definitely be planting those. And I like to plant onions in the outside of my beds and kind of create like an onion border around the beds, because they can kind of be a bit preventative with pests. Pests don't really like the smell of onions, so they can be a really good companion to a lot of crops. Not all crops, but a lot of crops, especially like tomatoes and peppers. So my tomato and pepper beds, I usually line them with onions. So I found some more carrot and radish seeds that I want to try. Epic Gardening actually sent me these seeds. They've come out with a new line that's not Botanical Interests. It's Epic Gardening. I don't know why they did that, but they sent me them to try out. And so we're going to try some. So we've got carrot Nantes Imperator rainbow. Looks like a rainbow color of orange and yellows. Should be really pretty. Then we've got just like regular Nantes. It says Mokum. And this radish is interesting. It's called German Giant. I love a giant radish, but I think they're supposed to still be quick growing. So I'm gonna find somewhere else to plant these really quick. This is my other round bed. I do have a large tomato trellis here, so I'm gonna grow an indeterminate tomato in the middle of this bed. I'm thinking I will plant the outside with more carrots and radish, and just I'll leave the middle empty so I can put the tomato there. I just accidentally dropped a bunch of these carrot seeds, so there's gonna be carrots in my walkway probably. And I don't really feel bad about like overseeding and thinning plants, because one, the chickens will get the extra, so it's not being wasted. And also, like, I'd rather overplant than underplant, you know? Actually, I forgot about peas as well. Usually I would be planting peas in March, so if you want to plant peas, like, now's the time to do it here. I just think I'm gonna skip them this spring. I don't know. I like peas, but do I like them like that much? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna skip them. I think I'm just ready for summer, you know? I'm ready for the beans and the tomatoes and the peppers, and I kind of just want to skip spring and some of the spring crops. I'm not planting anything that I don't really love, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not gonna utilize that garden space for something that I don't absolutely love, and I think that that's just like a good gardening rule of thumb in general. If you don't absolutely love it, don't plant it. Use that space for something else that you do really love. And again, peas are just one of those things that do better for me in the fall. In the spring, they get going and I get like a little flush, but then they get burnt really easily because the sun is just wild here. And it seems like it gets wilder every year. So I'm skipping a lot of things this year. I'm figuring out while I'm talking about all of this. I'm like, wow, I am really skipping a lot of the spring stuff. But that's okay. That means more room for summer stuff. And I did overplant tomatoes and stuff. So I'll just have more room. While we have these books out, there are some things that I didn't plant the other day when I was planting my tomatoes, my eggplant, and my peppers that I need to go ahead and get started. And that's herbs and perennial flowers and some of my annual flowers. So I'm gonna grab what I want to grow because I have some cells that are left over. Definitely this lime basil. This is a really unique variety and it's really great. Also gonna try this heirloom salad leaf basil. It's supposed to be like huge leaves. Okay guys, if you take anything away from this video, it is that you need to go and get this basil, especially if you live in the southeast. And I'm feeling this packet. I don't think that there's any seeds in here. Oh no. Okay, I have to go and order this like right now. Literally right now, or I will forget. Prospera F1 basil. Okay, so this is from High Mowing Seeds. I'm telling you guys, this is the best basil I've ever grown. You know, in the southeast, we have a really hard time with powdery mildew. At least I do. Every time I plant basil, like these other two varieties of basil, I'm gonna have 2 successions of them because I know that they're gonna get powdery mildew pretty much right away. This basil grew all season long, never got powdery mildew. It grew huge. You can go back and look in some of my harvest videos if you wanna see it. It is, oh, it's so good. I would be direct sowing cilantro right now, but I have it popping up all over my garden because I let it reseed itself every year, so I don't need to plant anymore, but that is another one that I would be direct seeding right now. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to get started as far as herbs. The rest of the herbs are either perennials in my garden, so they're coming back, like parsley, sage, rosemary, oregano. Those are all perennials and they're all starting to come back. Mint. Really the only ones that I restart every year are basil, and then if there's something else, I'll probably just pick it up as a plant. Let's see what annual flowers I need to start. Mexican sunflower for sure. Okay, zinnias, I would usually start these earlier, but I have found that I like to just direct sow them after the last frost. It's just a lot easier. So I'm not going to plant those yet. Nasturtiums as well. I'll usually just plant those after the last frost and just direct sow them. Sunflowers, I can direct sow them, but I like to start them a little bit earlier just to get a head start on them because I love sunflowers so much. So I'm gonna get a head start on this mammoth. Gotta have a mammoth. Vanilla ice is a very pretty, it's like tiny little sunflowers, but it branches out and it's a really good branching type of sunflower. You know what? Instead of this mammoth, I think I'm gonna swap it out for this heirloom titan from Renee's garden. I grew this one last year, and this is the most successful, like, big kind of sunflower I've ever grown. If you know, you know, this is the sunflower that caused all the outrage over on my short forms of me eating the sunflower head. Here we go. My favorite annual flower in this world is the Mexican sunflower. This is what makes my garden a butterfly haven every summer. The swallowtails, the monarchs, they flock to this flower. I think it's the bright orange, and it's the most gorgeous color of orange. These get really huge. I like to plant them in ground and just let them get super big. Cosmos are another one that I will direct sow after our last frost. And then I want to try this chocolate cherry from Birdies, another sunflower. If you can't tell, I really love sunflowers. Here is another one from Kids Seed Co. This is another great seed company. They're locally owned in Asheville, North Carolina. They're a family-owned business. Really great seeds. It's called Kids Seed Co. because their kids help with the harvesting, the packaging, like everything. It's so wholesome. It's beautiful. Their family is Hungarian, so they have a lot of Hungarian varieties. And this is Hungarian chamomile, and I really want to try it. Chamomile is one of those that you can direct sow after the last frost here in North Carolina, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and start some just to get a head start. I really love chamomile. Calendula is one that I'm actually going to direct sow right now. So that one, we're going to direct sow that one real quick. We're going to go plant these calendula really quick. Then I'll start those seeds, and then we'll get to the potatoes. Also, just want to say, if you're growing calendula for medicinal purposes, this is the best variety. This is from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, the Resina calendula, and that just means that this variety has more of that medicinal resin. You know, if you grow calendula, they're like really sticky. It's because of that resin, and that's the medicinal component of calendula. If you like to make salves or tea, calendula is just a really great flower herb to have in your garden. I like to plant calendula right in the pockets, right in the corners of my garden beds. I think that they give the garden beds a really nice pop of color. They're also companion plants because they're great pollinator plants. And I kind of just, like, we'll make a little well, just put a few seeds in, and then like maybe over here, a few seeds, and then maybe over here, a couple seeds. And yeah, that's that corner. Also do this corner. I love to make calendula salve every year. My friends and family always love for me to make it for them. I use it for everything. I call it my all-purpose salve because it can really be used for everything. I also use it as like a chapstick. I'll have to make a video on my calendula salve this year. Another pocket over here. Me planting all this right now is so perfect because it's gonna rain tomorrow. Like, we're having storms come through. So it's always good to like time your seed planting around the weather, because planting seeds and then you get a really good like drenching rain, I just feel like it helps them more, like it helps them germinate and establish better. I'm feeling on a time crunch now. It's 5:45, sun's going down. I still have to start those seeds. I still gotta plant my potatoes. Will I be able to get it all done? Also, my camera battery is dying, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get all this done today, but I'm gonna try. So here is where I started my tomatoes and my peppers, my eggplant and my roselle, and I have these spaces left for some flowers. I want to plant, I think, 3 Mexican sunflowers, because I think I'm gonna have some pop up in my yard from where they were planted last year. So I'm just gonna stick with 3, although I would like to plant more. Actually, you know what? Like I was saying before, better to overplant than underplant. I'm gonna do a whole 6 cell of them. So that means I'm probably gonna have to come out here another day and make more of these trays. Why not have 6 of my favorite flower in my garden? Okay, I got these done. I actually just decided to do a 6 cell of the chamomile and then wait to plant the rest of the basil when the other basil comes in. But I got all the, basically it's just sunflowers and chamomile. And then I actually just went outside and sprinkled the rest of the chamomile seeds like all over. I don't know, we'll see what pops up. I think I'm gonna have just enough time to get the potatoes done. I wanted to say something about strawberries really quick though. So something else to plant this month is strawberries. Don't mind the bags of soil. But I did this in a totally separate video that is actually, I think, gonna come out after this one, so keep your eyes peeled for the strawberry video. But basically I took strawberries in my in-ground strawberry patch, I dug them up, and I planted this entire green stalk with strawberries. I really like growing strawberries in containers rather than in the ground because they became really invasive in my in-ground patch, so that's why I moved them. But it looks like they're all establishing pretty well. I'm really excited for this, and I'm actually, I think, so I have another green stalk that I need to put together, and I think I'm just gonna do the same thing, and I'm just gonna have like 2 full green stalks of strawberries because why not? Ah, the sun is going down. We gotta get these potatoes in the ground, and then I'm gonna feel so like satisfied after all of this planting that has been done today. So I have a lot of potatoes to plant, and this is the only bed I think I'm gonna plant them in. It's a pretty decent sized bed. I think I have like just a little too many potatoes though. I think actually I've changed my entire mind on the purple potatoes. This crazy mess, I don't even know if I'm gonna plant them because purple potatoes, they're really pretty, they're really cool, they're really unique, they're like a showstopper, you know. But do they taste the best? In my opinion, I don't think so. They taste like a little more earthy. They're not quite as like light and buttery as yellow potatoes. So again, the theme here is don't plant things you don't like. Even if it's pretty and it's cool, I think I'm gonna skip it. Yeah. So I think we're gonna stick with these. These are cow white, and then these ones from the store are just called yellow potatoes. Obviously, I'm not gonna know the exact variety. But yeah, I think we're just gonna go for it. So ideally, I would cut these into sections if they have multiple eyes, but 1, I'm actually not seeing multiple eyes on these. And 2, if you cut them, you have to let them callus over before you plant them, and I'm trying to get these planted today, so I'm just gonna plant the whole potatoes, and that's fine. There's actually not that many in this box. They only give you 6, and I think I paid $10 for that box, which is not worth it. Don't pay $10 for 6 potatoes, please. Just make sure that they're organic. We don't want to be, you know, I don't know. Sometimes the potatoes that are not organic, they're treated chemically to keep them from sprouting. So they may not even sprout, and we just don't want the chemicals. I'm just kind of spacing them out how I would plant them. That's enough potatoes. There's 1 more potato. So this might be too close together, but you know, I don't care. I think it's fine. All right, so I'm gonna plant these pretty deep. Potatoes like to be planted pretty deeply, like a good 6 to 8 inches in the ground. I'm gonna try to plant them with the eyes facing up. And then, yeah, that's all there is to it. This bed has been recently amended with fresh compost. All the beds today have been recently amended with fresh compost. If you didn't see my March garden chore video, go check it out. And in that is where we add all the compost. I have another garden chore day coming up actually. That is it. They're planted. It's done. I feel like I did all that really fast. It was only 5:45 when I went to go plant the seeds, and now it's only 6:08. I'm like out of breath because I've just been like zooming around trying to get it done. I feel accomplished. That was a great day of gardening. Oh, before I go, I want to show you guys something really exciting. Look at my potted fruit trees. They're starting to bloom. So here is my potted peach tree. This tree has given me peaches for many years now. I think it's on its 4th year, and it's been giving me peaches for 2 years. And it is blooming. The blooms are so pretty. And then we've got my potted nectarine over here. It's starting to bloom. These blooms are the prettiest. They're so pretty. I'm so excited for the peaches and the nectarines. This is the mulberry tree. It's starting to come back to life. Potted pomegranate bush, although it looks dead, it's not. Look, it's coming back to life now. Spring has truly sprung. Okay, the sun is going down and my camera's about to die. So thank you guys for coming along with me today. It feels so good to be out in the garden again, just sprinkling seeds everywhere. I feel alive. I feel like my soul has like returned back to me from the long winter, and yeah. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave your comments below. Let me know what you're doing in the garden right now. I know that a lot of you live in different places. I would love to know what your March looks like. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Substack. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.